NFL Daily is presented by Manscaped. You can get the best men's grooming products on the planet at manscaped.com/chat. That /chat gets you 20% off plus free shipping. Chase Sr., Harrison Graham with you. We've got 5 trade ideas that we cooked up around 5 different players. I have an idea. He has an idea. We'll go one player at a time. DK Metcalf. He's been connected to a lot of trade rumors, Chase, from the Seattle Seahawks. We'll get to my idea first, then we'll go to Chase's. Here was mine. First and a second from Baltimore, number 14 overall this year, a second next year for DK Metcalf, entering the final year of his deal. I think that'd be a pretty good haul for Seattle, and a team like Baltimore could use another big play threat on that offense opposite of Marquise Brown.
Yeah, and I think the Philadelphia Eagles are an ideal landing spot for DK Metcalf if Seattle wants to move on from him. You match him up on the opposite side of Devontae Smith, and you'll fully realize if Jalen Hurts can be your long-term starter or not, and then you make up for not taking DK Metcalf a couple of years ago when you went with J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. And the good thing for the Eagles, they have the draft capital available to make a trade for DK Metcalf that I think Seattle would be pretty happy with. 2 first-round picks. Now, you have to sign him to a contract extension, and you might have to sign him to a deal average annual value between $20 and $30 million. But to me, he's the modern-day Terrell Owens, and he would be so good in Philadelphia as a scheme fit and a player alongside Devontae Smith.
Yeah, look, 2 top 20 picks is a lot for a receiver on the last year of his rookie deal. You said you'd have to pay for him, but if you're Philadelphia, you know, if you want to truly, fully give Jalen Hurts the best chance to be your guy, go get him another big-time weapon. I like the fit in Baltimore, too. I think they need another guy next to Marquise Brown. A lot of teams, believe me, would be interested in DK Metcalf. Predict the next player to get traded this offseason. Lots of them have been moved, lots of star players as well. Get your predictions down below. Who will be the next player to get traded this offseason? Next up, Stefon Diggs. And Chase, the reason he's on this video is it's cryptic tweet season, baby.
Yes,
he doesn't seem very happy in Buffalo, and mainly because he's seeing all his buddies getting $25, $30 million per year. Tyreek, Hill, Davante Adams, all these dudes are getting paid. His base salary this year, $12.5 million. He wants his money. We'll see what happens with Stefon Diggs. Obviously, Buffalo has a lot of money committed to a lot of different players.
And look, Buffalo could use a running back too. So why not a trade with the Dallas Cowboys because of him wanting to play with his brother? Bills get Tony Pollard, a 2022 first-round pick, which is 24th overall, and a second-round pick, which is 56th overall. 2 top 60 picks for Stefon Diggs and a running back for one of the best wide receivers in the NFL, who I think is the second best route runner in the National Football League behind Cooper Kupp. He was disgruntled in Minnesota. Maybe he's disgruntled now. I wouldn't be. I understand the contractual thing that you're unhappy with, but you're playing with Josh Allen, who has a bazooka for an arm and is an incredible talent.
I didn't go as aggressive on this trade. First and a third, 2 top 103 picks from Kansas City to go get Stefon Diggs. You know, he's about to be 30. So, I mean, it's not like he's, you know, DK Metcalf and he's 24.
Right.
I mean, this is a guy getting a little bit older. I think a first and another day 2 pick is a pretty good offer for a guy like Stefon Diggs. Diana Rossini of ESPN reported that the Chiefs are exploring the trade market at wide receiver after shipping out Tyreek Hill. You bring in Diggs and bring him into this offense, that's a pretty nice recovery if you're GM Brett Veach. Who is the better receiver right now? Type DM for DK Metcalf, type SD for Stefon Diggs. This is a tough one because they're such different players, Chase. I think it really does depend on the scheme and the players around these guys.
You have monumental size and a physical freak in DK Metcalf and more of a refined route runner who still is a fantastic athlete in Stefon Diggs. You're really splitting it 50-50 in terms of my opinion.
Kind of depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
If you want the home run guy, Metcalf's probably the better option. If you want kind of a route running technician, Stefon Diggs is probably the play there. Shout out to Manscaped for sponsoring today's NFL Trade Ideas video. Chase and I are a huge fan of their products, and I've been using the Ultra Premium Collection quite a bit recently. Their collection comes with shampoo and conditioner, 2-for-1 bottle there. You also get body wash, body spray. Coop's a big fan of that stuff. Deodorant. You got the lip balm as well. It's a good collection, Chase. 20% off, $40. Manscape.com/chat.
Anytime you can get 5 products that you use every single day for $39.99, that's a really good deal. You just have to use that link down below, manscape.com/chat, and the promo code chat as well.
Yeah, the Ultra Premium Collection, one of their newest product lines that they've unfolded in the last couple of months. Go check it out. Really good value if you use our link, manscape.com/chat. It's going to get you 20% off plus free shipping. All right, let's go to the next player here, Baker Mayfield, as we'll get to one of 2 quarterbacks here. Listen, the market's dried up for quarterbacks, Chase, but there's a couple teams out there that could make sense for Baker and our next guy here, which will be Jimmy Garoppolo in a moment. Here's my idea. Baker Mayfield to Carolina for a 5th. Pretty simple. I don't think the Browns have leverage at this point. He's made it very clear he does not want to play. These reports of, well, they'll just keep him and he'll start. Says who? The Browns? I don't think Baker Mayfield's playing another snap for that franchise. I really don't. I think his statement and his ego won't allow it, and quite frankly, I don't blame him after the way they operated this offseason. I think a 5th is totally fair at this point for a guy who has no future in Cleveland, and Matt Rule needs a quarterback bad. Baker Mayfield to Carolina.
Yeah, I'll pivot off of what you said. I don't think the Cleveland Browns have any trade leverage at all. Baker Mayfield has made his trade demand public. They already have a quarterback in Deshaun Watson. And yes, there are only about 2 teams who are quarterback needy right now, Seattle Seahawks as well as the Carolina Panthers. So my trade proposal, something similar to Harrison's, but I think this is a better deal for the Cleveland Browns because they get a 4th-round pick back instead of a 5th-round pick. And if you're Seattle and you think that Baker Mayfield, a former #1 pick who really flashed 2 years ago, can get back to that level of play that he displayed 2 years ago, a 4th-round pick for a long-time starter going into the final year of his contract, if it works out, great, you have your future guy. If it doesn't, you only surrendered a 4th-round pick.
I mentioned Jimmy Garoppolo. Let's go there next, as these are kind of the 2 quarterbacks connected to trade rumors. Obviously, you got the shoulder injury there. We'll take a look at some trades in a second. But before we do that, who's the better quarterback? Like, if you're a team still looking for one right now, who you taking? Type BM for Baker Mayfield, type JG for Garoppolo. We've debated this a lot in the office, Chase. I think if you're trying to win right now and you have win-now pieces, the answer is Garoppolo. But if you're a team like Seattle and you might be entering a transition year and Baker Mayfield can hit the reset button with some pretty good receivers, I think that's pretty intriguing as well.
Yeah, really shocked that Jimmy Garoppolo hasn't been traded yet. And as far as the better quarterback, obviously Baker Mayfield has more ability. But if you want less drama, if you want a face of a franchise, if you want a quarterback who's won 70% of his starts with San Francisco and has played in much larger games, then you go with Jimmy Garoppolo. So I pivot from that to this. Here's my trade idea. We talk about those quarterback-needy teams. Carolina still needs a QB. Matt Rule, as evidenced by the picture at the NFL owners' meetings, feeling the heat of being an NFL head coach. They can't move forward with Sam Darnold. Do they draft a quarterback? And if that's the case, why not also bring in Jimmy Garoppolo to see if he can either be a stopgap QB and help you get into the playoffs this year, or you extend him, and then you continue to sit that raw rookie right behind Jimmy Garoppolo, kind of like what the Niners did this past year. A 3rd-round pick in exchange for Jimmy Garoppolo. That is my trade proposal. Carolina gets a leader. They get a face of a franchise, a guy who brings winning to a franchise that is starved for winning. And if it wasn't for the shoulder surgery, I think San Francisco could have landed a 2nd-round pick. But because of that surgery to an already injury-prone, top-half fringe quarterback, they settled for a 3rd-round pick.
Went a little different here. How about Detroit? And now the caveat here is before the trade happens, Jimmy Garoppolo has to agree to a pay cut, a restructure to work under the Lions cap situation. But I think he's better than Jared Goff. You give up a future 4th for him here. And you treat 2022 trial year for Jimmy Garoppolo. I saw Goff for a year last year. He's not the answer in Detroit. Is Garoppolo the long-term guy there? Probably not. But I would take the chance on it for a future 4th-round pick and just see. You just mentioned it, Chase. They need winning culture in this organization. The one thing you could say about Jimmy Garoppolo is he's won a lot of football games.
Yeah.
So that alone, I think, would be a positive influence on that franchise. If it works, great. If not, you lost a 4th-round pick. Not that big of a deal. Make sure you guys subscribe to Chat Sports. More NFL news, rumors, free agency, trades, draft. A lot more news items still to come, and of course, the latest rumors out there as well. Chase and I will have you covered, as will the rest of the Chat Sports team. go ahead and subscribe today. All right, Saquon Barkley, Chase, who I don't think either of us think he has crazy trade value. I think it's unclear how much is in the tank. I don't think he's washed, but I think it's possible we've seen his best football. Some teams could be interested still, though, in a guy like Saquon.
His first year was incredible. He gets drafted out of Penn State, and as a dual-threat running back, he was a home run threat every time he touched the football.
Yep.
But since that torn ACL, hasn't been the same player. He's lacked some of that explosiveness and hasn't been able to stay healthy. It's really unfortunate. When he's right, he's great. But can he get back to that level? That's the big question, and that's why in both of our trade proposals, not a lot going to New York going into the final year of his rookie contract.
How about this one? We've talked about Buffalo. The one thing they could use is maybe more of a dynamic running back, which I think it's fair how dynamic Saquon is at this point. But I might gamble and see if he is dynamic enough. I think he probably is better than Devin Singletary. You throw a fifth in there as well to sweeten it up. You take Saquon and his contract from New York. At worst, he's probably at least similar to Devin Singletary in terms of production for you at best. Maybe he gives you a little juice, can catch the football out of the backfield from Josh Allen. That offense is going to draw a lot of attention to other players. I think Saquon could thrive in a situation like that.
San Francisco has 9 picks this year in the 2022 NFL Draft, including a couple of comp picks, so they can afford to at least take a chance by sending a 4th-round pick to New York. And if you're the Giants, I'm not sure you're going to get that much more for Saquon Barkley, who I don't think you are going to re-sign beyond this year. You're in a rebuilding phase. Why not get a 4th-round pick? You get a potential future long-term starter, a very quality backup, and you take that 4th-round pick, 134th overall. San Francisco gets Saquon Barkley, and to have either him or Christian McCaffrey in Kyle Shanahan's offense, that could be very, very exciting.
All right, so Chase cooked up 5 trade ideas. I cooked up 5 trade ideas. Who cooked up better ones? Type C for Chase. Type H for Harrison, a.k.a. me. Let us know who had the better trade ideas on today's show.